dog. It's not the reality. You were saying it's credible now. Months ago, you were calling it conspiracy Trump bullshit. Yeah, there's more fucking evidence, I guess. Not actually evidence, though. It's still just as...
There's more fucking evidence, I guess. Still not actually... Oh, wait, I contradicted myself from a second ago. God, oh my God. I feel bad. I feel like we're beating up on like a retarded person here.
Well, look, first of all, we are beating up on a retarded person. And secondly, this is a retarded person who's higher than us in the social hierarchy. So I guess that means we're the retards.
We're punching
Adam,
up.
Okay?
We're punching up. Well, look, not really. I mean,
yes. Look, if you're more successful than us, I guess that he's doing something right and we're doing something wrong, right?
He was born with it. Look at that face. My God. Come on.
Yeah, look at that disheveled, unshaven face. Yes. With a dick hat on. Yes, so beautiful. This is...
Yeah. What is this? What are these? I don't know who these...
This ugly shirt that you'd expect like a 7-year-old girl to wear. Yes, we're hitting peak standards of beauty right now.
God, we got to do more of the communist grift stuff. How do we?
It's true.
We got to make communism more palatable, guys. Sorry, we're joining. We're joining the winning tribe.
As credible as the other theory. There is no fucking evidence. Like, it's just still another theory. I'm saying it's a credible one. The conspiracy that I was pushing back against is the fact that it was a bioweapon, because motherfuckers marry the two ideas all the time, which is why the moment that I bring up that it's not a fucking bio...
The only person marrying that idea is you.
Is you. I know.
Well, listen up, motherfuckers. They marry it all the time. I'm not doing it, even though I'm doing it in this actual conversation, and I'm reacting to a video where no one's actually doing that very thing while I'm insulting them, pretending they're doing that very same thing. But no, other people do it. Okay, I'm innocent.
Someone in the chat says, not in our chat, in Hasan's chat, the thing you've been consistent on is that there's no evidence. It was purposefully man-made based on the genetic code.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much what everyone's saying.
Right.
Yeah, there's no evidence for that. Well, I mean, I think Scott Adams actually hinted at that maybe it was man-made, and Scott Adams was going way out there.
He was suggesting that it could be
that it only killed Westerners, that it wouldn't kill Asian people.
If it had a higher death rate in non-Asians or something. Yes.
If true, then maybe it is a biological weapon.
Right.
But I don't know. There's a lot of Asians.
Think that was ever,
There's a lot of hate between the Asian nations. Like, I don't think the North Koreans and the Chinese get along. So,
right, and also there has been a lot of breakouts in a lot of different Asian countries. So it's not like they all just sat around doing nothing and didn't get COVID. And for some reason, all these European countries got COVID.
That's Scott Adams, though. Hashtag artist.
Hashtag artist.
Again, is the fact that it was a bioweapon, because motherfuckers marry the two ideas all the time, which is why the moment that I bring up that it's not a fucking bioweapon, half the chat jumps onto that conclusion and starts attacking me and saying it certainly was human modified. It certainly was engineered. The only thing that I...
half his chat? I don't get it, because he's trying to say that the right-wingers are the one making
Wait a minute. Listen to what he actually said, because it's actually super dishonest. Okay. Let's go back.
Bioweapon, because fucking evidence. Like, it's just still another theory. I'm saying it's a credible one. The conspiracy that I was pushing back against is the fact that it was a bioweapon, because motherfuckers marry the two ideas all the time, which is why the moment that I bring up that it's not a fucking bioweapon, half the chat jumps onto that conclusion and starts attacking me and saying it certainly was human modified. It certainly was engineered. The only thing that I defended...
So he says, okay, I'm only attacking the stance that it's a bioweapon. Mm-hmm. And whenever I do this, half the chat attacks me by saying it was human modified. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was human modified.
It can be human modified without being a bioweapon, Hasan. That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
He keeps conflating the two.
Oh, my God.
He can argue against this idiotic straw man.
I guess you're right, yeah.
He threw his own chat under the bus. and just strawmanned his own chat.
Oh my God, you're right. You're totally right.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's no argument that it was human modified. That's where you got the spike protein.
Against was
I mean, they didn't modify it to make it they modified it to study it. So they say.
Right. Presumably.
this notion that there was a human modification.
Wait, hold on. We have to give
Because
Hasan
he
a
does
clip.
another one. He does it again.
Look, we have to give Hasan a clip, okay? If he wants to clip us dishonestly. I'm not saying that the Chinese made the virus intentionally, but it would be a sneaky thing for those evil Chinese to do. If that's what they do. They're so jealous of us proud white Americans over here in the land of freedom and hamburgers that obviously the socialist Chinese government that's sending Hasan a paycheck in the mail would intentionally create COVID, sacrificing their own people. Because, you know, they have enough people as it is. They want to lower the population already. So, you know, they don't care if they take a little bit of casual damage there. So,
They're
yeah, obviously
commies.
they created it on purpose just to kill freedom. Okay. There you go.
Pretty good.
There's your clip. You can clip
That's
that up.
pretty good. Yeah, clip that, Hasan.
There you go.
Crazy right-winger PSA Sitch. Right-wing reactionary.
Right-wing reactionary. PSA Sitch coming hard against China.
Oh my God.
Human modified. It certainly was engineered. The only thing that I defended against was this notion that there was a human modification, that this was somehow modified by human beings. This virus was designed in a fucking lab. And the only
Wait, that's what? The
Yeah,
fuck
that
is he
is-
talking about?
That is the position. He's forgotten what he was talking. He's forgotten what he was talking about.
No, I don't think he understands the lab leak hypothesis.
Right.
Well, either that
Listen,
or
there's
he-
two. You can modify the virus for two reasons: to study it, like you do. You put different markers in there so you can see
Right.
what different shit is going on,
Right.
and to make a bioweapon, you would have to modify it. So
No, but I don't. Well, there's one of two things happening here. Either he doesn't, or three, because he could just be a fucking idiot. One is he doesn't understand that the lab leak hypothesis isn't that they found COVID in the wild, put it in a lab, and then they did nothing to
And
it and
released
then
it.
leaked out. Okay,
Yeah,
that's not
totally.
what anyone is suggesting. I
totally.
don't think that's what anyone's
Yeah.
suggesting. Okay. Or two, he doesn't understand what people mean when they say humans modified it. Okay.
Right.
Maybe he thinks that means like
To turn it into a weapon.
to turn into a weapon or something. I was like, no, dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
It just means that humans monkeyed around with it in some way. They did something to change it from its natural state, which is what they do in a lot of these labs, as you said. Even if they're not doing
To
gain of
study
function
it.
research, you have to modify it to some extent to put markers in it so you can look at it. I mean, you know, we don't have the magic computer from Star Trek where you just like pop the virus in and it gives you like the display, you know, like in the movie when they
Yeah.
have like the display. It's like I looked at the blood and it brings up like the picture of the DNA strands. It just like points to everything.
Well, they put different markers in different places just so they know what they're dealing with. They're like, oh
Exactly,
yeah, that's the A
Right,
batch,
right.
that's the B batch,
Sure.
that's the C
Yeah.
batch.
So yeah, exactly. And so the contention is that they found this virus in some state in the wild,
Mhm.
and that they intentionally made it be able to spread easily from bats or pangolins or whatever it was to other species, including humans, in order to study it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Hasan.
Presumably to figure out the function of spreading so that they could stop the spreading. So they
Right.
could find some magic weapon against this
In
spreading.
case it ever happened
agent.
naturally.
Yeah, in case it ever happened naturally.
Which
exactly.
that doesn't even really make like that seems I don't know. I'm a comedic YouTuber.
Like
okay?
if
This
it's
is a
not
comedy
spreading.
show.
But don't you want to
Okay.
understand the spreading mechanism?
No, but what I was going to say is I don't even know how that would help, because if you artificially gave it some protein spike that allowed
to make it spread easy. You're like,
you wouldn't, even if you created something to fight against that, would that help if it naturally spread? Because presumably it would have some other mechanism of spreading. It wouldn't be the same.
well, I was thinking, if I was doing the research, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I would develop the means for stopping it spreading at the same time that I develop the means for it spreading. So I would be thinking, okay, we're gonna make
Right.
this thing spread to test the thing that kills the spreading.
Well, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, think about it, I guess probably the tension would be not to stop it from. You wouldn't create some way of preventing it from spreading from animal to animal. You would spread it to human cells so that you could study the human cells and then create presumably some way of fighting it once it's in human cells. That'd be the point.
Yeah. Or I mean, if it's jumping from species to species, just
Right.
like having some system that prevented the spread. I mean, you'd deal with all virus if you had a mechanism to stop all viral spread. Oh my God, that would be like the super
Sure.
juice.
Sure.
Yeah. Seems like that's probably what they were studying, but I don't know. Yeah. So all of this involves though human modification. So every time he says, "Duh, dude, I'm not talking about the human modification. I'm talking about the human modification to make it into a weapon.
I know.
It's completely different."
I know.
Only reason for why I'm against it is not because I myself am a microbiologist or something. It's because other medical professionals and PhD researchers very quickly looked into the genetic mutations and recognized that it had no human interference in the genetic code. And if tomorrow other credible science...
Yeah, but see, this is like the dumbest. Okay, what is this? This is something that the Weinstein, I always say it wrong.
Weinstein.
Weinstein brothers have always been warning us about. It's the breakdown of institutions in our country. Okay, because what does it mean if when the virus is first coming out, all these people rush to say, "Oh, this was obviously existed in nature," and then a year and a half later, they're all of a sudden like, "Well, actually, maybe it was made in the lab. It was monkeyed around in the lab. It was modified in the lab." Okay.
Yep.
Like, how does that give you peace of mind to just blindly follow what the quote unquote experts or researchers are saying?
It doesn't. Makes me
doesn't.
not
That's the
believe anything
problem.
they say. That's why I was like,
Right.
we don't have any evidence. What are you talking about? They could be lying
Right.
about everything. But I
Well,
do
but that's-
remember Brett Weinstein immediately
Yes.
was talking about there were some components of this virus that appeared to be man-made.
Right.
He said that like a
He said
month
it pretty
into this
quickly,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
And he gave specific reasons for it too. It
He
wasn't like
did, because
just
he had done
intuitively
kind of-
felt that way. Yeah.
Yeah, he had done some kind of biological research. Like his whole wasn't his PhD done on the mice thing, the rats thing, the research thing?
Well, I don't know if that was his PhD. I know he has the study
He did
about
some
figuring
study,
out was it the telomere length in the mice? Yeah.
So he's
Right,
been
but that's not
involved,
viruses. That's something different.
but it's still like some sort of
right,
biological
still
research.
biology.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. He would be more qualified to look at the research than a lay person by leaps and bounds. Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
and also since he's, I'm sure a ton of other researchers, since he's practically famous now, are
Sure.
dying to reach out to him anytime he's talking about anything that they're
But-
actually doing
right.
research on.
But listen to how brain dead
Hmm.
Hasan's take is, and this actually mirrors H3H3's take in a lot of regards that Crowder was mocking him for. It's just like, oh, this blind, like, listen to the experts. And again, I'm not like telling anyone to ignore experts or anything like that.
You're a huge
But-
Crowder fan.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a stupid argument to say, well, we should blindly listen to the experts when they tell us one thing, and then when they tell us the exact opposite, we should blindly listen to them too. Instead of saying, wait a minute, that should
Yeah.
make you cautious to think, obviously there's something going on here. And maybe that's just as important to figure out as figuring out whether the virus was a lab leak or natural,
Mhm.
is why did our institutions fail us so much in this regard? Was it simply rampant TDS? Is that really what happened?
Yes.
Our experts are so inundated with politics and TDS that they literally convinced themselves that it couldn't have been a lab leak, which if that's the case, well, we're like super fucked, okay? Or was it like the mask thing? They just sort of lied about it because they thought
Oh
it would
my
be
God.
distracting. And they're like, look, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We can't point fingers right now. We need to focus on curing it. We'll deal with the origin of it later. So let's just say it was natural. That could, that could very well be it. They could say, I mean, think about it this way. You're a scientist, okay? And you're like, we need to cure COVID. We need to come up with a vaccine or treatment for COVID, okay? The best serious. Right. The best source of information that you could get for coming up with for fighting COVID would be from China, because that's where it started.
So I'm going to the Chinese. China.
Right.
President Xi.
Well, no, you're going to have to ask.
Get him on the horn.
You're going to have to ask.
It's President Trump.
You're going to have to ask the Chinese government for information.
I need some info.
Them to share information with you. But wait, listen.
Was this from a lab? You tell me the truth.
Listen. Let's turn off the comedy show for just
President Trump, okay. You cannot handle the truth.
I know this is a comedy show, but listen. Okay. You're a scientist.
I will give you $20 for the truth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're going to build a wall around the lab. Yes.
Okay. Was there any conversations like this that took place between Trump and Xi?
Probably.
Oh, I swear to God. No. Bat soup. That's where it came. Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me, President Xi.
Let me just get this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I know.
Go ahead. Continue.
Think about it logically, Adam. Okay.
Logically.
Yes. Okay. You're a researcher trying to cure COVID.
Okay.
You have to ask the Chinese government to give you the information they have on it. You have to play their game. You have to play ball with them.
Right. Okay.
So obviously, in order to get the information from them, you're going to have to say, well, what's better for helping the world right now? Mm-hmm. Is it me going out there and just saying some bullshit about how it was from nature so that I can get China to give me the information I need to cure the virus that's ravaging the entire planet right now?
Yeah.
Or should I go out there and say maybe it did leak from a Chinese lab? China then doesn't share any of its information with anyone because they go on full lockdown and the virus, continues fucking everyone.
Well, Sitch, this is what you call in the industry a no fucking brainer, okay? You play along with their fucking phony ass narrative. Right. You say, "Oh yes, I see that you're lying to me today. Why, thank you for these lies. Would you please help me?" Wink, wink. Give me what the pattern of the virus is from nature. Wink, wink. That definitely did not come from your Wuhan lab, which we have had spies in for the last 3 years. Wink, 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 wink. And we will tell our media that who will continue to suck our dick on this for the next 6 months. No problem.
Right.
Yeah, totally. You're going to play along. They're definitely going to play along.
But that's why we need to know the truth about this, because if that's what it was, if it was just the scientific community wink, wink lying to just to get the information to cure the virus, I actually don't have a problem with that. Okay, at all. That makes sense.
Oh my God.
Okay? That's what you have to do.
You fucking piece of shit. How dare you? How dare you throw your principles in the garbage? Sitch, you are a true seeker, and here you are live on this show just pissing all over the truth simply because oh, wait a second, you're a pragmatist just like me who would do exactly the same fucking thing. Okay, listen, I'm so sick of people accusing me of throwing my principles away, which are not my principles. They're your fucking principles, okay? I never signed up for your principles. I signed up for my principles, which is pragmatism.
Adam is happy that I'm not Rorschach from Watchmen, and I won't throw away the entire world in order of making a truth claim. That's true.
Yes, sorry, guys. Sorry. I know a lot of you guys are idealists, and I respect the idealists. We're fucking pragmatists, okay? Now, we're going to wink to the fucking Chinese spies and try to save lives.
It's interesting that people, they quote Rorschach's line, "Never compromise, even in the face of Armageddon." I don't think that's a good philosophy.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. That's why we're pragmatists. That's why we're pragmatists.
I think it's a bad philosophy. But my point is that we need to know the truth about this, because again, if it was just them lying to get the information from China, I don't really have a problem with that as long as we find out about it later. I do have a big problem if we turn out that they weren't intentionally lying, they're just fucking stupid,
Oh,
and they all
that's
had rampant
worse.
TDS.
That's way
much
worse.
because
That's
that means that
way
the
scarier.
institutions have failed on this massive fucking level, and there needs to be a complete overhaul of the way we're doing things. And we need to find this information out to figure out which one of these is what happened.